wide open I keep for thee, door of my heart. Open wide I keep for thee. Will thou come, just for once come to me. Will thou come, just for once come to me. Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Will thou come, will thou come, will thou come, will thou come, just for once come to me, just for once come to me. Will my days fly away, will my days fly away, without seeing thee, my Lord? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Just for once come to me, just for once come to me, just for once come to me, just for once come to me. This is by Yogananda, such a beautiful feel where the devotee is calling from his heart that, oh my Lord, day and night, I'm only calling upon you. Just for once, please, please come. I have kept the doors of my heart open just for you. Please come, please come. All right, let's get into our Bhagavad Gita. Om ajïäna-timirändhasya jïänäïjana-çaläkayä cakñurunmílitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutpad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaha. Namashya is asking, can you send this bhajan in our group? Please, it's beautiful. Yes, Namashya, I will send it. I will try to get the actual lyrics and then, the tune also, and then I'll try to send it. All right. We are still in the introduction. This introduction is going to take some time because we are trying to understand each and everything, so that as when you get into the chapters, things will become easier. So we have till now understood consciousness. We discussed a lot about consciousness. Who are we? So the external body, conscious body, then there is subconscious, and then there is the soul. Okay. Our soul quality, our subconscious has to be very pure. When we originally came from God, pure beings. But our subconscious got mixed up with material nature. So all the gunas came in us. Rajogun and tamogun, passion and ignorance. They just covered us up. And that is why we forget God, we forget ourselves. So on the path of spirituality, what we are doing is we are cleansing ourselves. Our subconscious mind has to be clean under all circumstances. So there are saints I have met in Vrindavan and in other places. And I had heard one story from a saint about his guru. So he was saying his guru was so pure. Obviously, I mean, they are living in this temple environment. Temple also, not the temples that we see. For us, temples also have to be big names, nowadays, because we have come so far from simplicity. Our attraction to a temple will also be like, if the temple has to be big, it has to give you so many facilities, then we go to those temples. But the temple which I am saying, it's a small temple made by saints, somewhere in the remote corner. Like Namaja, you came with us to that. You remember that night we went to Naimisharnya, and in that night we went to one Shiva temple. Such a small temple, who will go there? And it is managed by 2 or 3 sadhus. They are the people who are living there. And people like us are visitors who will go and see and give whatever donation we can give. And with that donation, they survive. These are not temples which are big. But the sadhus living there, the satsanga that sadhu gave us in that night, it's pitch dark of night, there is not even tube light, there is no light, no electricity. But the satsanga that sadhu gave in that pitch darkness, in that one little lamplight of the temple, that we had one ghee lamp there. From the sadhu's life, how he has lived. And how the other sadhus there are living. So when I'm talking about a saint with whom I heard about his guru, I'm talking about this kind of temple, very simple temple. So he was saying, because his gurus, the entire day, they are cut off from normal people, and their food is so pure, their thought is so pure, they're always chanting God's name, or they're in the thought of God. One time it happened that they went down, they came out from the temple and they went to the city, and they had to, they knew somebody, and that devotee had called them and they invited, and they said, okay, why don't you come, when you come to this city, please come to our home. So these saints, the sadhus, they left their temple, they were roaming in the city, and then they happened to go to that devotee's home. At that time, the devotee was not there. His wife was there. So his wife said, my husband is not there, but if you are okay, I can prepare food for you and I'll give it to you. You can accept the food. So the sadhu said, okay. So at that time, when the lady prepared, she was not in a clean state and she was impure. And the food, the rice that they had got, she didn't have rice to somebody else. She borrowed the rice from somebody else. So the rice that they bought, that person was in some kind of liquor business or something like that in that city. Nobody knows this. This lady goes to that person's house, borrows rice because so many people have come, so many saints have come. So she has to cook that much rice. And she borrows the rice from this person's home, brings it, cooks it. She's also in an impure state, but she cooked it because her husband is not there. She said, who will know? Let me just feed it to the sadhus. She fed it. That night when the sadhus returned back home, back to their own temple, and they slept, all of these sadhus, including their guru, are getting dreams which were unclean. Morning, the guru got up and the guru said, did you guys all have bad dreams yesterday night? And the Sishyas, they were feeling very guilty because they are living a life of purity, and suddenly the dream becomes bad. Whatever dreams they have seen, that shows that your subconscious mind is not pure. So the Sishyas were beating themselves up that probably they went to the city and then they picked up some impurity because of whatever the things they saw. So the Sishyas, but then when the Guru asked them directly, did you guys have bad dreams? The Shishya said, yes. The Guru said, don't worry, even I had a bad dream yesterday. I don't think so my mind will ever get polluted. I have worked so hard in my life to live a pure life that even in my subconscious mind, it cannot get polluted. But yesterday, the food that we ate, this person, call that person, I want to meet him. Whoever arranged for this food. I want to know from where they picked up the grain. Was it his own earning or was it somebody else's earning? So they called that person. One of the disciples went to the city, called that person, that Babaji wants to meet you. Please come. This person came. And he said, so Guruji asked, we ate food at your place. Me and my disciples, we live a very pure life. But yesterday, we all had some not so good dreams. And the only place I can think the impurity crept in was in the food that I ate at your place. So from where do you get those? What is your mode of earning? Are you earning from clean methods or some impure methods? So this person, he said, no, Babaji, my business is very pure. I don't do anything impure, but I want to beg forgiveness. I scolded my wife also. My wife confided that she was impure. And yesterday the rice was less. And then she picked up the rice from a person whose business is selling liquor, and they consume liquor in their home. So I'm very, very sorry. I picked up food from this house. My wife picked up because I was not there. She did it. Please forgive her. And they begged forgiveness. Why am I telling this story? When I heard this, the quality of the mind, the saints were describing, the subconscious mind, the quality. What we eat, what we think, whom we are moving up and down, for us, we do not know what that cleanliness is all about. When I'm talking about subconscious mind also being clean, we do not know what that stage is. But when you hear saints like this telling about their guru, that the guru says it is impossible that my mind can have some bad dream. That means something in my subconscious is gone, which is bringing it. And then he goes and traces that this is the problem. It could be here. What we dream is a mirror of our subconscious mind. If we are pure under all circumstances, how will we be pure? How will we become pure? If we are thinking about God all the time, then when you sleep, also in your subconscious mind, you will see godly images, Guru's pictures, going to all these holy places, or even if your story is hodgepodge in your dream. But even that in that hodgepodge dream, you will see spiritual things. So if your dream is like this, then you must pat your back that, okay, you are going in the right direction. If your dreams are not like this, then you must know that there is some mistake happening somewhere and you need to purify yourself. So my another question to this person was, whom I was talking, that your guru could have purified the food very easily just by offering to God. Why he didn't do that? So the story that I heard from him is like Guru did this leela, this pastime for all of us. There are many devotees many of us disciples who very freely used to mingle with worldly people. We are sadhus. We are not allowed to mix up with worldly people so freely. We have certain rules and regulations that we have to live to. But some of the disciples who came, they very easily, freely mingle with them. And Guru knows what is going to happen. So Guru explained. And he told a story. What was the story? He said there was one Guru. Once upon a time. And this Guruji had a lot of disciples, and the disciples used to come in the morning. Guruji used to give a nice Gita lecture. The disciples used to listen. Guruji used to give Veda lectures. Disciples are listening, and very nice feeling. And then after listening, the disciples go back to the world. And whatever they have listened in the morning, early in the morning, Brahma Muhurat, whatever hard work they did, everything gets washed away when they go to the world. So Guru sees that. And Guru is like, but few of his students were very, very dear to Guru. And Guru wanted to take care of them specially. So Guru one day asked one of the students to stay. Every day he would say, let everybody else go, you guys just stay back. And Guru, immediately after the Gita lecture is done, whatever he has worn, the cloth, he would wash in the Ganges. And then again, after washing, instead of drying it clean, he would just go and roll it in the mud, make it dirty again, and then dry it. So the Sishyas, the disciples who are staying back, they're like, what just happened to Guruji? He gave such a beautiful lecture. We thought he's a sane person. He's so knowledgeable. Then he washes his clothes in the Ganges. That also is okay. But then why is he rolling his wet dhoti, the cloth that he's wearing? Why is he rolling that wet dhoti in the sand and making it dirty again and then drying it? The Sishyas didn't say anything. But they are there for those 10-15 days as long as the Guruji has asked them to stay. And every day the Sishyas are seeing the same thing. After the lecture, Guru goes, takes his white cloth, washes it, and then dirties it, and then dries it. One day they could not control. They all came and said, Guruji, we have one question. Please, don't mind. Guruji said, what question? He said, Guruji, we see you every day doing this. Even a sane person, even a simple person would know that once you have washed your clothes, you should not dirty them. But we see you wash your clothes, you dirty them again. What is this? Why? Guruji says, how to explain you? You notice that, right? That is why that is how the way you thinking about me, why am I dirtying my clothes? Same way I think about you people. Every day you come, you listen to the lecture. Your mind is clean. I wash your mind. I fill it up with good things. And then you go to the world and you dirty it. And the whole day your mind is dirty only. The next day again you come and then I have to clean it again. Again you go and you dirty your mind. How insane is that? I see you guys like that. I see the consciousness that you have, which I work so hard. And that time it is clean, but the moment you go back to the world, it becomes dirty again. How insane is that? The way you think, I am doing something crazy. I feel, how crazy are you people? So the Sishyas understood what the Guru is saying. So what should you do? He said, yes, you tell me what I should do. If I dirty my dhoti, one time I cleaned it, then I dirtied it. So so what should I do? You tell me. So the Sishyas are like, yes, you should clean it again and then dry it. So Guru says, yes. So for the mind also, your mind, you are purifying it. Then you go in the world, you dirty it, then again purify it. Cheto darpan marjanam. Again and again you have to purify your mind, your consciousness, again and again. How will you do that? The easiest way to purify is take God's name. All this lecture, whatever you hear, will not stay for long. You may not remember everything. But the essence of all this lecture is to remember God's name under all circumstances. One who is remembering God's name, his consciousness becomes purified, so purified that even when you are sleeping, the name will go on. Practice it and see it for yourself. Practice it and see it for yourself. Jnanis, they meditate, they do all the thing, but when they come back to the world, there's always a chances of falling down. Always. But when you're doing Hare Krishna Maha Mantra or say any mantra, Radha Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Sham, Sham Sham, Radhe Radhe, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You'd repeat it even without your mala, you repeat it. See for 1 month repetition continuously. And the beauty of these mantras are, this mantra especially, the Maha Mantra and the Yugal Mantra. Yugal Mantra is the Radha Krishna Mantra. Radha Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Radhe Radhe, Radhe Sham, Sham Sham, Radhe Radhe. The beauty of this mantra is they can be sung in many tunes. And if you keep hearing it again and again, maybe you're not singing it also, but you just hear it. This mantra will be stuck in you, and then even when you sleep, and in the middle of the night you get up to drink water, you will see that the mantra is going on in your subconscious mind, even without you making an effort. Even if you don't do the whole day, but in the evening, after coming back from work, in the evening, you just take some bells and start chanting and, singing and dancing and loudly, and you sleep. Within 6 months, this mantra will continuously go inside you, continuously by itself. This is the power of this mantra. And the highest power to where it can take, I think I told you the story last time. Not sure in English class or Hindi class. So there was this Baba, Hare Krishna Baba in Vrindavan. He was taking the class with all his students and near the Yamuna. And suddenly he heard a sound coming from the Raja, from the sand near the Yamuna. So he called his disciples and said, I can hear the sound, some sound coming from this sand. Do you guys hear too? Check it out. So the Shishyas, they put their ears on the sand. They are also hearing some sound is coming. So Baba said, please dig it. So they started digging. And when they started digging, they found only bones. And they took out all the bones, and the bones, they are hearing from the bones, the sound is coming of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. And Baba said, there must be some Naam Japak who took a samadhi here just by chanting the name, and look at the power of the name, that it is still there in the bones, still radiating. So this is sound vibration. It starts like this in subconscious mind, and even when you have left your body, in your bones also the sound will be trapped. There are trees in Vrindavan. I'm not able to remember the name of the vana right now. I happened to go there in the night some 4 or 5 years ago. Only once I went, and this place, there were a lot of saints. Okay, the saints, they don't come in the public, very interior of Vrindavan. So my driver, who knew that I'm so much interested in all these saints, so he took me there. And when I went there, so all these saints I'm seeing, and they're chanting all the time. And one of the saints said, come, I'll take you to a tree. You want to hear the tree here? Because our Guruji used to sit, and for years this tree is a witness, and we used to sit here and chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. You want to hear? Put your ears on the tree. You will hear a sound. And actually there was a sound. I cannot say it was Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, but there was a sound that was coming in the tree. You can actually hear it. The tree reverberating a sound, something like an om, I can say, the closest, or something like a kling, or something like a reem, that sound. This is the power of sound vibration, mantras. So you start chanting, It will go in your subconscious and it will stay there forever and ever. This is how you purify yourself. So we are living in a world, we are doing all these things, our mind, our consciousness may become impure, but slowly, the power of mantra is so that it will 100% purify you. Cheto darpan marjan. Your chitta, your consciousness will become purified by constant chanting of name. All right, some questions. I will just see them. Gaurav, Ma being a mantra upasak and upasaks of God name, am I also supposed to maintain such dietary hygiene? Yes. Dietary hygiene you should maintain. Experiment. I will always say experiment. I have always experimented. I am not a very easy sadhak. I was very rebellious on a lot of fronts. If people said do this, I would be like, let me see what happens if I don't do this, and let me see what happens if I do this. And I encourage people to do that. I am never afraid of, I'm not like that, oh, somebody told me to do this, so I'll do. No. I experimented and I came to my own conclusions. Regarding food, what I told you of this Babaji, I have experimented in my life too. Especially when you're chanting for long hours. It doesn't happen if you're, every day you're just chanting for 1 hour and then again you're mixing back in the world. No, it will not happen. Only when you're in a clean state, then you understand. So you at least try for 6 months, 1 year to eat a very pure food. And especially if your food without onion garlic, try that. And food cooked at your own place instead of eating outside, try that. Experiment. Make your notes. How you feel. 6 months, cut off everything. And after 6 months, continue the same chanting habit. It's like, but again, I'm saying not only the diet regulation, your chanting is most important. Chanting or sadhana, whatever sadhana, if you're doing meditation, whatever sadhana you're doing, your sadhana is the most important thing. If you're doing yoga, yam is the most important thing. For dhyan also. Dhyan, that word comes in the yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. There are only two main methods, Ashtanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is 9 steps. Ashtanga Yoga is 8 steps. Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam are the first 4 steps. Then comes Dhyana, Dharana, Pratyahara, Samadhi. What happens? People straight away jump to Dhyana. And they think the other four, is not important. It's not possible. Dhyan is the 4th step. After Yam, Niyam, Asana, Pranayam. And then comes Dhyan. Then then the rest of the steps. If your Dhyan is perfect, it's the first, but for the first 4 has to be perfect. Then Dhyan becomes perfect, then automatically Dharana, then automatically Pratyahara, automatically Samadhi. You don't have to work for that. It just follows. But if you miss the first 4, you're not going to achieve anything. Experiment. What I'm saying, I experimented like a rebel. What will happen if I eat and what will happen if I don't eat? And I have cancelled my mind at so many places, saying, oh, this is a preconditioned mind. This is a belief that I carried. This was fed into my head. I was brainwashed with this. I have told all of that. And like a critic, I practiced. And I tell you, I'm very thankful to my father to encourage me. He said, think like a scientist and experiment and then come to your conclusion. So yes, your question, such dietary hygiene like explained in the Katha, practice it and then come to your conclusion. From my side, yes, you have to practice it. Yeah, you have to follow that dietary regime. Namasha says, yes, you're absolutely right. 24/7 the mantra. Yes, good. Rara says, Jai Ma, Jai Gurudev. Thank you so much for your teachings. Brings much joy to the heart. I find myself often in contact with karmic people, especially in Eastern Europe, where the culture is, let's say, karmic. Least you can say, I always abandon the karmic energies of those encounters to God. If circumstances push us to meet karmic people, tamasic ones, is this a way for God to somehow train us to become stronger and develop stronger immunity to tamasic karmic energies. For example, even if I touch a door where I have seen someone touching it, that this is a tamasic karmic person, I chant dream dream to purify. Any more advice on this? We live in a very different society than India or USA or even Central Europe. Thank you for your utter patience and forgive the long question. Whatever you have said, what you're doing is perfect. Always chant dream, 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 dream. The door example that you gave, somebody touching the door, you are conscious there. So you are feeling that this person, is carrying an energy, and so you're doing it consciously. But there are so many instances where we are not even aware. But if you have a habit of chanting the mantra, you are being purified naturally. So mantras have that power. Whatever mantra you are chanting, they have the power, whether consciously or unconsciously, whether you are aware or whether you are unaware. You are always being purified. This is only for self. This path of spirituality, I always say, it is only for self. We will be surrounded by karmic people everywhere. And all of us, even we are doing karmas every second. When we read Gita, we'll go deeper. God says, not even 1 second you will be without your karma. Not even 1 second. This is the nature. Even while you're breathing, you are doing a karma. Thinking, everybody will do. So we cannot avoid karma. Karma is going to be there. But along with that karma, you have to constantly remember God. Constant remembrance of God comes through either chanting his names or the mantras that you are chanting. So this thing has to go on regularly. Who is tamasic, who is sattvic, who is rajasic, we don't know. And we cannot guess. We have to only focus on ourselves. So what you are saying, God gives us all these people, but under all circumstances, we have to purify ourselves. All right. Gaurav says, wow, ma, such a beautiful thing, chanting God's name and purifying repeatedly most of the time. Yes. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Sri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Another thing is, God's name is like taking that vitamin in the morning. One vitamin pill you take, it has all the nutrition that you want. And the whole day, you are getting that energy, what that you need. So God's name is like that. Chanting his name, it is always providing the nutrition, that spiritual nutrition that you need. One small name, Ram, Krishna, Hari. All right, let's read the introduction. So we learned about consciousness. Now, where is that consciousness? Since morning, so many topics I have read. All right. We have understood about Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan, but last time we discussed on that also, that Brahma Samhita describes Lord Krishna as the original being. He is Ishvaraha, he is supreme controller. He is the one who gives joy to everyone. He is Sachidanand Vigraha. His form is pure eternal bliss and knowledge. He is always there, Anadir. He is the first being, Adir. He is Govindaha, who gives pleasure to cows, to earth, to the universe, to us human beings, and all the living beings. And he is Sarva Karana Karana. He is the cause of everything that is there. So we learned that also. Let's go to next part now. We learned that Gita is not spoken by an ordinary person. It is spoken by Lord Krishna himself. That is why Gita is called as Apaurusheya. Apaurusheya means no human being has spoken it. Throughout the Gita, Vedvyas who wrote it, whenever Shri Krishna is speaking, he'll say, Bhagwan Uvacha, Bhagwan Uvacha, Bhagwan Uvacha. There are many names of Krishna mentioned in the Gita. And as we go deeply into it, wherever the names are coming, I will explain you the meanings also. So this is the beauty of Sanskrit. Every name explains a quality of God. Somewhere he'll be called Rishikesha. Like Arjuna is called Partha in many places, Parth. And his mother Kunti is called Pritha. Parth and Pritha. These are the two names. Pritha word comes from Prithvi. Prithvi means earth. So anybody who is made, who is coming from these elements, especially earth, that person is Parth. So all of us, we are also having these elements in us. We are also made out of earth, all these 5 elements, right? So Arjun, when Arjun is called Parth, Parth is us. We are made of the same 5 elements as Arjun is made up of. Okay, so Partha, Pritha, God's another name Govinda, God's another name Mukunda. He will say, Arjun will use different names at different places. But the writer is Vyasdev. So Vyasdev goes on writing. And that is the beauty of Sanskrit in, as I told you, Vyas will use those names to indicate the qualities, and every name will mean different based on the reference. Sanskrit is such a beautiful language. It's not just one name, Krishna. Krishna means the most attractive one. Krishna means the most attractive one. But when you end the Gita, there is one name for Krishna. They'll give Yatra Yogeshwaro Krishna. Yogeshwar. His name is Yogeshwar. You know what Yogeshwar is? Yogeshwar means who is expert in all yoga. All yoga, not one yoga. Yogeshwar Krishna. So this Krishna who is standing in front of Arjun. In the last sloka, it doesn't say Arjun. It says Partha Dhanurdharaha. There is the name of Arjun. So Krishna's name is Yogeshwara Krishna. And Arjun's name is Partha Dhanurdhara. So 2 different names. It doesn't say Yatra Krishna, Yatra Arjuna. It doesn't say. Yatra means wherever there is Krishna, wherever there is Arjuna. It doesn't say like that. There are names used specifically. In the end, what does that indicate? That this person, Krishna, is Yogeshwar. Yogeshwar means from whom all the yoga has come. Talk about Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga. People have different names. Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Raj Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga. So many yoga names are different. But Krishna is Yogeshwara. From him all yogas come. And Parth is Dhanurdhara. Dhanurdhara means the one who is a great archer. But it also means somebody who is very hardworking. So beauty of Vyasa's poetries are this. Every name will indicate a different quality of that particular character at that particular moment. So here it says Bhagavad Gita is apaurisheya. Krishna is apaurisheya. Krishna is Bhagavan. Don't consider Krishna as an ordinary human being. He is not like us. He is Bhagavan himself. He is Yogeshwar. He is the one described by Brahma. He is the one described in the Vedas. He is the one glorified by the saints. Somebody goes and reads Vedanta by Shankaracharya. Vedanta will say about Brahma, about Brahma conception. But even that Brahma conception, what we talk is Krishna. Somebody will talk about Paramatma, that is Krishna. Bhagavan is Krishna. So all the different names will come here. So the knowledge that is imparted here is not an incomplete knowledge, it's a complete knowledge. It has no defect. If a human being gives a knowledge, there will be defective because a human being has its own defects. But this is given by God himself, and that is why it has no defects in it. So we read that also. I will read some more part. There's another thing that we discussed, that in this world we have come as human beings, not to spend life fighting and quarreling like cats and dogs. So this was also mentioned. We have to realize the importance of our life and go towards the higher life. We have to realize our divine transcendental nature. So that is the essence of Gita, how to realize that. From here, this little temporary existence, worldly existence, we should be preparing ourselves to go to the eternal abode, Goloka Vrindavan, or the eternal sky, the spiritual sky. Last time we discussed the spiritual sky. Different planets are there. So many times when you're reading the Gita, there's an internal resistance. Oh, you're talking about Krishna, only Krishna's Dham, Goloka Vrindavan, what about the others? So I'm saying you again, the spiritual sky is very big. If your earth is so big, just imagine this earth, we find it so big. So the spiritual sky is very big. On this earth, if there is so much variety, so in the spiritual sky also there is so much variety. Many variety. Beyond your, on the earth planet, whatever the variety is there, there is some, negative also here. But in those planets, the variety is there without any negativities. Happiness only. So material world is there and there is spiritual world. In spiritual world, there are many planets, many areas, and the different gods that whom you are worshipping, they also have their abodes. Same Vyasdev, who wrote Bhagavad Gita, who wrote Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam was the end. Before that, he has written other Puranas. Same characters, Suta Goswami, Saunak, etc. are talking. And in those Puranas, when you read, the different worlds in this spiritual sky has been described. But here, speaker is Sri Krishna. So we understand it through him. So every time when I will say the spiritual world, you will hear the word Golokadham, because Krishna's world. Okay? All right. The English word religion is different from Sanatan Dharam. Religion conveys the idea of faith, and faith may change. One may have faith in a particular process and he may change this faith and adopt another, but Sanatan Dharam refers to that activity which cannot be changed. For instance, liquidity cannot be taken from water, nor can heat be taken from fire. We discussed about this also. Our eternal Dharma is to serve God, serve Krishna. Religion, what we say, religion is just a faith, it's just a sect. If you are a Christian, you have a certain faith. If you're a Hindu, you have a certain faith. Muslim will have a certain faith. These are all sects. But Dharma is beyond faith, beyond sects, beyond religion. Qualities, certain qualities of humans, which doesn't change, whether you're a Christian or a Hindu or Muslim, it doesn't change. That is your Dharma. Serving people, that's your eternal nature. Whether you agree or not, you're a servant to everybody. You're a servant to your family, your kids, your office. You may become a boss, but still you're serving your people. So we under the illusion, we think we are bossing everything, we are controlling everything, we are parents, we are controlling our kids. But no, actually, we are serving them. They control us. They will tell us what to cook, what not to cook. The boss will tell what to do, what not to do. But the boss is so dependent on the people under him. So we are eternally servants. So this is our original Dharma, means serving everybody. Second, whether you are a Christian or a Muslim or a Hindu, you have to have compassion towards fellow beings. Everybody has that. It's a nature. So having compassion, speaking the truth, always, under all circumstances, being truthful. This is Dharma. Not eyeing on others' properties. This is Dharma. Respecting others. This is Dharma. You don't have to, nobody has to teach you this. It has to come as a human being. It has to come to you. So whether you're a Christian, whether you're a Muslim, doesn't really matter. Certain traits, certain qualities have to be there in a human being. That is Dharma. Are the two words Sanatan Dharam and Hindu Dharam not the same? Hindu was given by the British. Those who lived on one side of the Indus Valley civilization. Sindhu Nadi hai, Kashmir mein. There's a river in Kashmir, so that Indus River. So based on that, they gave us the name Hindu. Hindu came from people who speak Hindi, something like that. We are Sanatan. Sanatan means eternal. Yeah, but nowadays we are using these two words together. Hindu and Sanatan is the same. But the Hindu word was coined by British, as far as my knowledge goes. I may be wrong, but this is what I know about Hindu word, from where it came. It came from Hindu, people living near the Indus River, Indus Valley civilization. We are Sanatani. Sanatan means eternal Dharma. We are Vedic. We come from the Vedic civilization. In those old days, there were different civilizations. So, like, people will say Aryan civilization. They'll say Aryan civilization means they'll say, oh, Europeans or maybe Persians, somebody who's fair looking, somebody who has different features. They probably are from Aryan civilization. They migrated. This is all history. Then somebody, he will have Mongolian eyes and, they are Habashi civilization. Somebody, are black in color or something like that. So they are from different Dravidian civilization. So these are civilizations we were talking about. So based on that civilization, this was all European history that has been taught to us in school. But even if that word, if you go to Aryan, if we say we are from Aryan civilization, that Aryan civilization, the word Arya also means something else. Arya means a noble person. So anyone who is a noble person is called Arya. And if somebody is not a noble person, he'll be called Anarya. So that Anarya word became Anadi in Hindi. Getting it? So the question that you asked, Hindu is a different word. We are Sanatani, Sanatan Dharma. Sanatan Dharma is a dharma which is always there. It doesn't matter whether you call yourself a Hindu or not. Our civilization is Vedic civilization. It comes from Veda. That is the original Sanskrit understanding. All right. So non-Sanatan religious faiths may have some beginning in the annals of human history, but there is no beginning to the history of Sanatan Dharma. So in my baat, got it? Christian Dharma you can trace. Christian religion you can trace how many years old before Christ, after death, AD, BC. Muslim religion you can trace. Sikh religion you can trace. Buddhist religion you can trace how many years. Sanatan Dharma, trace how many years, right from Brahma. And how many Brahmas, that also we don't know. How many Chaturyugis? 4 yugas. So untraceable time, which is eternal means Sanatan. Eternal means you cannot trace. It has always existed. So that Dharma, since the time the sun is there, sun's Dharma is to give heat. Sun's Dharma is to rise up in the morning and to wake up everybody. That is sun's Dharma. So from the time, calculate when the sun came. That is sun's Dharma is doing. Sun is doing his Dharma. Water's Dharma, river's Dharma is to purify and is to quench your thirst. Calculate. Fire's Dharma is to give heat. So that is fire's Dharma. So everything has its Dharma. Plants Dharma, trees Dharma, to give flowers, to give fruits, to give shade. Everything has its Dharma. That is how we define Dharma. A property which does not change. It is always going to be there with that person, with that living thing or whatever it is. So humans have to have certain dharmas. Doing austerities, sacrificing for others. That is human dharma. Serving, taking care of this land, taking care of this earth, because Krishna gave us this earth. Taking care of our flora, fauna, rivers, animals, plants, everything around us. That is our dharma. And that dharma is then further divided into smaller dharmas, but those are smaller dharmas. The highest dharma, as we discussed on dharma, the highest dharma is defined as bhakti towards Sri Krishna. That is the highest dharma that comes in Bhagavatam. So Mayu also shared one katha where there were many Vishnu and many Brahmas of various. Yes, this is mentioned in many of our Puranas. If you read it, you will know. Many Brahmas. Brahmas of different faces. Yeah, many Brahmans. We don't even know. We cannot even calculate. But there is one thing. There is a pattern to everything. So that is how we understand the science. There is a pattern to everything. So if you understand this much, there is a statement. What is in macrocosm is in microcosm. Yad brahmande tat pinde. So if you understand one little small thing, you will understand the whole Brahman. It's like if I have to understand the whole earth, how many countries are there, how many oceans are there, how many rivers are there, and I don't have to go and travel everywhere. I can just see a map. If I understand a map, and what is a map? The whole earth, such a big earth, is brought into a small piece of paper. All the oceans are denoted, all the places are denoted. If I understand that particular map very well, then I understand the whole earth. Same way, if I understand this, who am I? The body, everything. I will know the whole world. I will know the whole universe. So that's how rhythmic or patterned it is. If you understand one small thing, you will understand everything. That is why I always say, Gita, if you understand Gita, you understand everything. It's like a map. Okay? All right. So in reference to the concept of Sanatan Dharma, we must try to understand the concept of religion from Sanskrit root meaning of the word. Dharma refers to that which is constantly existing with a particular object. We conclude that there is heat and light along with the fire. Without heat and light, there is no meaning to the word fire. Similarly, we must discover the essential part of the living being, that part which is his constant companion. That constant companion is his eternal quality. And that eternal quality is his eternal religion. Got it? What is Sanatan Dharma? Sanatan Dharma. Eternal Dharma. Eternal religion. And what is that eternal religion? Your eternal quality, which will not change based on the place, time, nothing. It is there. It is always there. Everything else will change. But this particular quality will not change. It will always be there. The sun, whether it is in India or whether it is in America, its quality is the same. It will not change. So same way, eternal quality is our eternal religion. Now what is that? When Sanatan Goswami asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about the Swaroop of all living being, the Lord replied that the Swaroop, the English word, the Hindi word, the Sanskrit word is Swaroop, S-V-A-R-U-P-A. Swaroop means constitutional position. Our constitutional position. Our constitutional position, what is it? It says that the Swaroop or constitutional position of the living being is the rendering of service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If we analyze the statement of Lord Chaitanya's, we can easily see that every living being is constantly engaged in rendering service to other living being. A living being serves other living beings in various capacities. By doing so, the living entity enjoys life. The lower animal serves human beings as servants serve their master. A serves B master, B serves C master, and C serves D master, and so on. Under these circumstances, we can see that one friend serves another friend. The mother serves the son. The wife serves the husband. And the husband serves the wife, and so on. In this spirit, if we go on searching, we will see that there is no exception in the society of living beings to the activity of service. The politician, presents his manifesto for the public to convince them of his capacity of service. The voters therefore give the politician their valuable votes, thinking that he will render valuable service to the society. The capitalist serves the family, and the family serves the state in the terms of eternal capacity of eternal living being. In this way, we can see that no living being is exempt from rendering service to other living beings, and therefore we can safely conclude that service is the constant companion of a living being, and that the rendering of service is the eternal religion of the living being. Got it? There's only one eternal religion that they're talking. Rendering service. We are doing it every second. Yet, man professes to belong to a particular type of faith with a reference to a particular time and circumstances, and thus claims to be a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, or an adherer of any other sect. Such designations are non-Sanatan Dharma. This is not Sanatan Dharma. These are non-Sanatan Dharma. A Hindu may change his faith. Got it? So Hindu is a faith. A Hindu may change his faith to become a Muslim. Or a Muslim may change his faith to become a Hindu. Or a Christian may change his faith, and so on. But in all circumstances, the change of religious faith does not affect the eternal occupation of rendering service to others. The Hindu, Muslim, or Christian, in all circumstances, is a servant of someone. Thus, to profess a particular type of faith is not to profess one's Sanatan Dharam. The rendering of service is Sanatan Dharma. Can you please write down Sanatan so she will know, Namajya will know Sanatan. The rendering of faith, rendering of service is Sanatan Dharma, our constitutional Dharma, eternal Dharma. Correct? Actually, we are related to the Supreme Lord in service. The Supreme Lord, now understand this, Supreme Lord is the enjoyer. He created us for his enjoyment. He gave us everything. So we must serve him beautifully. Many times people will say, oh, what is this world? We don't like. This is all Maya. This is all Mo. They'll say it like this, oh, this is Maya. But the devotee of the Lord does not say that. The devotee of the Lord will actually enjoy the world so much. You know why? Because this comes from God. God has given this to me. Devotee of a Lord will love his family very much because God gave this family to me. This is my chance to serve God through these family members. The devotee of the Lord has no complaints. Every place he sees, God has given this to me. God has given this to me. Krishna has given this to me. And he's happy under all circumstances. He's not fed up of life. He's not a lazy person. He's not bored of life. He finds all varieties given to him by God so entertaining. Oh my God, God loves me so much. So much varieties he has given me to enjoy. So devotee of the Lord, his outlook is very broad towards everything. Many times people will say, oh, devotees means they are lazy people. People have this, bhaktas means they are lazy people. They are just leaving everything on God. No, real bhaktas are not like that. They have left everything on God, but at the same time, they want to do everything for God. Everything. You know, they are not bored, they are not lazy. In fact, I find people stuck in the world more lazy and more bored. Because you ask them Monday morning, no, they'll be so lazy, they don't want to get up Monday morning to go to their offices. And even while they're in the offices, not everybody is working diligently. They're just working so that they ensure that their monthly salary is coming to the bank. But most of the time, they are bored of life. Most of the time, they're bored of life. They go to find enjoyment somewhere, but that is so short-lived. But a devotee, he's always full of joy. Because every moment is a moment where he can serve God. Every person, everything he can serve God. This entire, wherever he sees, he sees an opportunity to serve God. That is a devotee's nature. Always filled with joy. And wherever he goes, he'll fill everybody with joy. This is the nature of a devotee. He's never lazy. He'll never be lazy. He has left everything on God. Yes, true. But then he's serving God diligently. If God has given me a home, I have to serve it properly. I'll make my home my temple. I have to serve God, the happiness. This is what the Dharma is, to serve God, to take care of his things. We are in his service. God is my CEO. Krishna is my CEO. I serve him with full love. And I don't want anything from him. I just want to love him. So factually, we are related to the Supreme Lord in service. The Supreme Lord is the supreme enjoyer, and we living entities are his servitors. We are created for his enjoyment. And if we participate in that eternal enjoyment with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we become happy. We cannot become happy otherwise. It is not possible to be happy independently. Just as no one part of the body can be happy without cooperating with the stomach. It is not possible for the living entity to be happy without rendering transcendental service, loving service unto the Supreme Lord. In the Bhagavad Gita, worship of different demigods or rendering service to them is not much approved. It is stated in the 7th chapter, 20th verse, Kama esta hitaggyana prapadyantyana devata tam niyamam asthaya prakritiya niyata swaya. So this is a slok on different Devi Devata worship, which I will explain in detail tomorrow, because this question will keep coming again and again. Okay, but right now I'll just read the translation. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. Here it is plainly said that those who are directed by lust worship the demigods and not the Supreme Lord Krishna. When we mention the name Krishna, we do not refer to any sectarian name. Krishna means the highest pleasure, and it is confirmed that the Supreme Lord is the reservoir of storehouse of all pleasure. Okay. Now, Gaurav has written, Jima, now I understood how a real bhakta is and how a real bhakta leads his life. And then he's writing demigods and that smiling face. Yeah, the demigod word is, I know, it creates something on us. We don't like to hear that again and again. But let us hear it in that sense that English has a very limited vocabulary. As I told you, the entire translation will be Krishna said, Krishna said, Krishna said. But if you see the Sanskrit, there are so many words for the same thing, even like lust. Okay. They use the word lust again and again, again and again. The moment we say lust, we will only, our meanings of lust are different. But in Sanskrit, the word is Vasna. The lust, what is lust, is Vasna in Sanskrit. And Vasna, lust normally is more towards like a man lusts for a woman, like that, lust comes like that. It gives that kind of meaning. If does a man lust for money? Yeah, but that is called as greed. Does a man lust for power? That is called being power hungry. But that lust word does not give that meaning exactly the way I'm saying. But Vasna, when we say Vasna in Sanskrit, it will give the exact word meaning. The people who know Sanskrit will know what Vasna means. Vasna means seeds of desires. Or those desires could be anything. Not necessarily a hankering after a woman or a man. Hankering after money, hankering after prestige, power, hankering after anything. That which is rooted deeply in your consciousness. You have forgotten also. That thing is called Vasna. And you are carrying that Vasna for billions of years. That seeds of desire or whatever is Vasna. So yes, so English has certain limitations. It cannot express things the way the original is expressing it. Original Sanskrit is expressing. Like for example, in Hindi we say jutha. Jutha means we eat something, okay? Say I just took an apple and I chewed it. So my saliva is on the apple. Because I use my teeth, my tongue, so my saliva is on the apple. So that apple is called as jutha apple in Hindi, or juthan. Now give me the real word. Give me a word for that jutha in English. There is no word for jutha in English. I cannot express it in one word. Similarly, prema means love. There is only one word in English, love. Love, lust, and sex. 3 words only. For us, Sanskrit, when you go, love itself will have many levels. There are love, there is rag, anurag, prema. There's a lot of levels, affection. 8 levels of love. Sex, not just 1, 8 levels. Sanskrit, that language is so different, and so many words will have certain meanings which cannot be brought out in English words. So we have to, when you hear the word demigods, I know it just rings some bell in you and you're like, demigods. But we have to read this book like a hansa. I always tell you, become a hansa. A hansa, what does it know? What does it do? A hansa is a swan, bird. Okay. And a swan knows, Rajahansa means a very divine swan. It knows, it has a power in it. What power it is? It can separate milk from water. If milk and water are mixed, the swan will only take the milk. The water will be left aside. It is mentioned in our books. So we have to become like a hansa when we are reading books or hearing lectures. Certain things we will not understand properly, but we should know how to take the essence and remove the non-essence. Okay, if we know how to take the essence, then we will, we will get the message. But if we stick on the non-essence, then gone. So we have to become a hansa, from hansa to paramahansa. So when I say the word demigod, for a British mind, for a European mind, for a English mind, they understand demigod because that is their culture. That is how they have learned it. They will understand it. But for a Hindu or for us, Hindi speaking, yes, the demigod will be like, why are they saying demigod? Demigod means something lower. So we also have those things, but the words are not able to give it. So yeah, so we will read Bhagavad Gita as it is, with the spirit of a hamsa. Take the essence and remove the non-essence. What our hearts accept, what helps us to go towards Krishna, we take only that essence. Everything else is non-essential. Okay? All right. Then Anamika is asking, Ma, is Vasna positive, not negative if we go by Sanskrit? There is no positive or negative. Okay, that is all the thing. Vasna, if it is for God, if I still have to explain it as positive, negative. Vasna for God is positive. Vasna for anything in the world is negative. Okay, so Vasna, when in spiritual terms, Vasna can be positive, Vasna can be negative. Like dhan, if you have Vasana for earning money, a lot of money, just want wealth. There sometimes people question me, oh, in America, are people doing Lalita Sasnam or all? Are people chanting God's name? How did they become so rich? People have all this. See, if somebody's mind is on the wealth, they will question all this. Indians. So somebody asked me, so in India, all the rich, in America, are all the rich people doing all these prayers? Why did they become so rich? So, my answer to them is, I don't know why did they become rich. I'm not sitting with them on breakfast and asking them why they became rich. And why are you so focused on Indians? Why are you so focused on the Americans or the Europeans? Why don't you focus on the Indians who became billionaire? Focus on Adani, focus on Ambani, focus on Narayan Murthy. They're a billionaire sitting in India. And look at their life. And then I shared some pictures. Narayan Murthy going to Balaji temple. Adani going and worshipping his Kul Devi. Ambanis are major donors. Okay, in all temples, I'm telling you. I went to Badrinath, their names is there. All major temples. So Vasna, Vasna is like, if you have the Vasna for wealth, it could be good, it could be bad, both depending on you. But say, I have Vasna for wealth and I want to earn a lot of money. Earn, no problem. It is not a negative thing. Earn as much money, be rich. But use that money to do good work, to do charity. You should have enough money and earn it through right means. Don't go greedy. Vasna may make you greedy. And then you use anything to earn money. No. Use it with the right intention. Then whatever money you have, save some money for yourself, for your family, whatever you need. And the rest of the money, use first for your family, okay? Your family is very important. And some money, some part of it, donate it. And in donation also, you should know what kind of donations. When you donate for spiritual causes, those are the best donations. So earn money, become as rich as possible. Become a Birla. Look at Birla temples. How many temples he has made? Wherever you go, there is a Birla temple, such beautiful temples. Become a Birla. So earn money. Vasna can be positive, Vasna can be negative. What Vasna, how you use it. If you use it for spiritual work, your Vasna is positive. If you use it for negative work, Vasna is negative. Got it? So Anamika. All right, got it. Prayer right. Some people gain wealth also through demonic, asuric means and energies. Yes, but their karma is also on the payment bill. Yes, their karma is on the payment bill, 100%. They will have a payback time. Namajia says, I saw you all the time giving donation anywhere we go. Yeah, that is why I say earn a lot of money and donate as much. It gives joy. Raris to everyone, he's right. The majority of Western wealthy people are of asuric nature in their means. We can say, but they have done a lot of good things also. So there is asuric nature also, but I have seen some good businessmen in America also, very, very rich, and major part they have donated it for the welfare of people and a lot of community causes. So I have seen that also. So this world is mix of everybody. So, but we have to focus on ourselves. Okay. So with this, I think we should end the class. It's 10:47 for me. Remaining things we will learn more about the Devatas tomorrow. Jai Ma, Jai Shri Krishna, Hari Bol.
Thank you, Ma.